Like, you ever watch a movie with animals in it, and the animals don't know they're in a movie, and they're just constantly just look at it. It was like that. I was like, it was insane. Right? But the thing that got me about the assassination attempt is afterwards there's that photo of Trump, and everyone was like, oh, he's so brave, right? He's so courageous. Look at that. What a brave man. It's like, you think that's courageous? Joe Biden almost dies every time he gets out of bed. That's courage, folks. To wear an adult diaper in public with no shame. It's like, does anyone, my favorite thing about Biden, right? Because now he's gone. I kind of miss him. My favorite thing he did. Does anyone remember when he had that dog in the White House that was just biting everyone? It was fucking sick, right? He had a dog, a rescue dog that was just biting everyone in the White House. Just the coolest dog ever. And like they got to the point where they actually had to have like a press conference and had a White House correspondent come out and actually say, like, given the way things are going, we're actually going to have to look into getting him put down. And he said that, and I immediately just thought, wow, Joe's had a pretty good run, I guess. Maybe it's time. How are we doing yet, folks? Are we ready to start? Yes? One person in the buffer. Okay. Well, as soon as they get back, we are going to bring out Billy and get this thing started. You guys seem very nice, very warm welcome. It's going to be good, I think. What am I going to do here? What do you do for a living, ma'am? Student. What do you study? Speech pathology. Okay. What does that entail exactly? Is that like helping people to speak? Because I think I could probably use that. I have tripped over my words 3 times since I've started here. Talking is supposed to be a large part of what this is. Without that, I don't know what it is. It's a man fixing a microphone for way too long. Do you enjoy it? Yeah? So are you becoming a speech pathologist? Is that like, so people with speech impediments, How far into the degree are you?
1 semester.
Just 1 semester? And how long is the degree?
3 more semesters.
So you give it another semester, you could be like, I hate this. I'm never going to do this again.
No, I like it. I think I'm
Okay, well, that's good. I admire that confidence. Because I changed my mind very quickly. Like I got halfway through this crowd work bit and I'm like, nah. Alright, folks, are we ready for Bill Egan, huh? Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bill Egan!
Yeah, thank you. Right, actually, that would ruin the bit. I'm going to start off with an impression of a clitoris. Yeah, I'm under here. Come on. Yep, no, little higher, little lower. No, too low. No, up here, under here. Come on, surely I'm not that hard to find. Oh, he's going in there already. Thank you. That's the best joke my fiance ever written. Has ever written. Well, she's not my fiance technically. I'd like her to be. I just can't afford it. It's expensive having a fiance, I found out. I did recently propose. I got down on one knee with a Zamels voucher and not good enough, apparently. Not into that. And I would have thought $400 is a pretty good price for a ring. Inflation's a bitch, isn't it? And with that, a gong of reality set the room into a stunned silence. Now, did you get that one, mate? The hood, right? The clitoral hood. You understand that bit? You get that? Yeah. Is this your boyfriend? He knows about the clit? Yes, sister. You chose well. Oh man, knows his stuff, knows his anatomy. That's cool. How'd you find out about the anatomy? How'd you learn all that stuff?
We studied it together in speech pathology. First semester of anatomy.
Did you learn all of the bits of the vulva, like the labia minora, the labia majora, like mons pubis, the urethra? You do all of that? Yeah, I'm flexing some serious anatomy knowledge here. I got the skills, I got the knowledge. I used to go to the library a lot when I was a kid and just go to the anatomy section and just go, you know, you go down that pathway, the hallway in the library, just get to the anatomy section, get a medical textbook, just kind of flick through to the saucy stuff. If anyone got too close, you'd flick over a couple of pages real quickly and be like, oh yeah, kidneys are sick, yeah. Renal cortex, yeah, I love that. People must have been like, oh look, you got a little doctor on our hands, didn't have a little fucking creep. But no, it does come in handy knowing the anatomical knowledge, doesn't it? Yeah. So you study? Do you do that in the speech path?
We just did brain stuff, to be honest.
Just did brain stuff. The irony of that's it. We just did brain stuff. It was good. It made me feel happy. I have a picture on the fridge of the time I did brain stuff and speech pathology. That's good. I do like the anatomy. I think the anatomy's good. I always feel bad in the vulval realm for labia minora, which I presume is Italian for minor. Do you know what I mean? You've got majora, which means major in Italian, minora, which means minor. I'd feel pretty bad if I was labia minora getting called minor. I'd be like, give me a fucking break. I'm doing the heavy lifting down here. I'm keeping the dust out. I'm the one creating a tight seal when we go swimming so we don't sink. Presumably. Minor. Get out of here. Anyway, anyone want some toast? Yeah. Okay, that's too many people. We'll get around. I'll just stick around in. So basically, you've probably read the copy for the ad. I told the ATO I needed a new toaster for a performance and. Thank you. Good stuff. Yeah. There's always one, isn't there? There's always a cheeky bit of toast. There we go. Anyway, don't worry, I'm a chef. I work as a chef. I'm not kind of technically a chef. I became a chef by pretending to be a chef, which you could do. I don't know. Have you guys seen Catch Me If You Can? Yes, I'm like Frank Abagnale Jr. with a lot less ambition. That's me. But you could do it. I've seen a couple of Jamie Olivers. I could make a meat goreng or two. I figure I'd give it a go, and I still am. And I owe that debt of gratitude to a massive labour shortage in the hospitality sector. It is. I'll tell you what, if you want to feel job security, get yourself a job in an area with a labour shortage. They cannot fire you. I'm supposed to be at work now. Chef's like, but I was like, nah, I got shit to do. But what if, you're not going to fire me, mate. You can't. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The hospitality sector is absolutely screaming out for talent at the moment, which is... Next time you're waiting 25 minutes or so for a pepper sauce to go with your schnitzel, just think, OnlyFans. Because hospitality is, let's face it, it's a bit of a dream cemetery. That's what that is. OnlyFans has absolutely gutted the labour force. We're dealing with some... That smells funny, actually. Yep, there we go. That needs a bit more. Did anyone see the last time I filmed a special? I also like what Jacob called it filming a special. It's just a couple of iPhones, but filming a special. No, it'll be good. It'll look great on TikTok. I'm planning on turning this into the new smoke machine, basically, if anyone gets that. Bit of an in-joke for the true believers, but anyway, you'll catch up. What was I talking about? Being a chef. Oh, it's great. I love being a chef. It's a great industry. It's great. The hospitality sector. I was reading the other day about another industry that has a massive labour shortage, which is aged care. There's not enough people that work in aged care, which I think it's pretty interesting, isn't it? Because we're used to. Yeah. Is that the every fucking time? Libby, is this one of the legit ones? You know, if I was superstitious, I'd say there were forces at B that are saying, just don't do this, mate. Just, Anyway, does anyone want some toast?
No!
Anyone else?
Yes!
I'm sorry, but the economy being what it is, I couldn't afford butter, so... Toast?
Yes!
Yes, excellent. I'm just going to hurl them out into the...
Sorry.
Libby, is the insurance cover this? Anyway, catch
Can you
the...
move the toast back a little bit?
This is predictably chaotic. Anyone who knows me would have gone, yeah, that toaster thing's not going to work out. Anyway, it's a tax expense now. Is anyone drinking tonight? Yeah. I'll tell you what I love about drinking these days. That was not that. As you see, these little pregnancy warnings on the can here. Pregnancy warning: alcohol can cause lifelong harm to your baby. I wish they had those when I was a fetus. Because Mama loved a vino. If I was named after Mum's favourite thing, I'd be called Stanley. Because I am a fresh, dry white. But I think it's good. I think it's a good step that we've had the pregnancy warnings. The little, got the red cross through the lady there with the little ponytail. She's got a little Sporty Spice hairdo, which I think is a good touch. I like that church. She's a very athletic-looking woman there, having a little beverage after a workout sesh, I presume, during while she's pregnant. It's good. But I remember when cigarette packets just used to look like it would have a cool logo. It would say like Marlboro on it, and then doctors were like, "Oh, a lot of people are dying of smoking," so they started putting little labels on saying "smoking kills." And then that wasn't doing the job. People are like, yeah, it might kill, but I look badass when I do it. That didn't work. They had to take it a step further. They started putting pictures of dead babies or exploded lungs or whatever on them. Like, you buy a pack of cigarettes these days, it is just pure violence on a box. But it has done the job. People have cut down on their smoking. So I think maybe that's the direction that we need to go in with alcohol containers. Like, I'd like to see some pregnancy warnings of the alcohol causing lifelong harm to your baby. I'd like to see that visually represented on a can. Do you know what I mean? Just a picture of someone on the beer can, just like doing Aussie hip hop raps at a bus stop. Yeah, wearing a bucket hat, cause I smoke bucket bongs. I punch more cones than an angry road worker. You've all caught it. There's a lot of public transport enthusiasts in this beautiful city of ours, isn't there? That's one. I mean, I guess somebody getting their photo taken with the grid girls at Clipsal is another solid. Or at least if that's their Facebook profile picture. Do you know what I mean? Because a Facebook profile picture is supposed to be the pinnacle of your existence. Like, what's the best thing you've done? You've got a photo of. Well, we'll stick that in the middle of the photo box. If the fact that a woman wearing a Clipsal jumpsuit is the best thing that's ever happened to you, there's a high chance that your mama had a couple of Woodstocks before you were. Now, there's a bit of a vibe here, okay? A bit of tension. I'm feeling it in the room. People are like, this is coming across as a little bit classist, Billy, okay? Not liking the way you're talking about the bogans, because drinking while you're pregnant is not something that just the working classes do. There are a lot of they're not hard-working, stay-at-home mums with very, very wealthy husbands going out working in the bank or whatever, staying at home, brewing up a kid, being like, I'm bored, I'm going to have some petty Chablis. And then they have to raise that kid and pretend that its fetal alcohol syndrome is autism for the rest of its life. We know that exists, okay? You know what's going on out there. This is a real thing. How do we visually represent that on a can? What about, I don't know, shit stains on a PAC blazer? Potential thing there. But anyway, where was I going to go with this? Aged care. That's what I was talking about before the fire alarm was. I think it's kind of funny is that as a society, like, you know how we used to look after the old people. We used to look after our grandmas and grandpas. And now we just chuck them in it's basically like the shed of humanity. It's like, well, I love Nan, but she's racist and she smells. We would just chuck her in an old age home, and nobody wants to look after them there either. Which it's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? That wages are not great in the aged care sector. Which is, I mean, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of funny too. At the same time, by the time that a lot of people who work in aged care will have saved up enough money to retire, that they themselves will be going like straight into aged care. Like imagine it's your last day of work, you basically just like clock off for the last time, just do a shot of tequila and shuffle off down the hall. Get into the bed that you made 3 hours ago. Hope that you've fostered good, solid enough working relationships with the people so they'll give you second helpings of the good drugs to send you off into the other place. It's kind of sad, kind of funny. So what do we do? You know, if we don't look after the elderly, and people don't want to look after the elderly, what are we going to do with them? I think we should start eating them. Do you know what I mean? I think we should start eating a bit of schnitzel Grand Parmigiana. Lasagna di nonna, that'd be delicious. The roast of Joe Biden, he looks great. The meat is already falling off the bones in that fella. He's done his bit, let's give him the send-off he deserves. And if you're sitting there thinking, that's all well and good, mate, you look pretty young, you'll be fine yourself. But no, as soon as my knee starts hurting getting out of bed, I'm out of here. You can eat me right up. So, yeah. I was talking to my therapist, ChatGPT, the other day. Because I've been going through some stuff. Nothing majora, but it's just a bit weird when a bloke that you've had a couple of threesomes with starts sending you anti-transgender people propaganda. Just not the direction you ever thought that relationship was going to go. I don't know what his deal is. He just starts sending them to me like, mate, I think you better know about this. They're letting them into the toilets now. Well, hang on a second. Well, wait a second. Who's letting who in the toilets? They have bouncers on toilets now? Because last time I looked, if you're a creep, you can just go into the toilet. Any toilet. If you want, you can do it. Maybe you might have to sort of wait your time, be a bit patient, sort of peruse some bushes and just wait for till the coast is clear. But if you're a creep, you can go right in there. Wait till the joggers go by, in you go. And you do whatever it is you want in there. And you don't have to dress up as a woman trapped in a body that she doesn't identify with or whatever. You can wear whatever you want. You can wear a tuxedo. Go and sniff the toilet in your toilet sniffing tux. Dress up like a clown. Empty one of the bins. Roll around in it like a dog. You can do whatever you want. No one's going to stop you. I said this to him and he was like, yeah, but mate, you've got to think about the kids. I was like, as far as things that parents have to worry about these days for their kids, like you've got nuclear war probably, climate change, AI-generated cat videos with subliminal messages that one day activate in the kid's head. They're like, I'm going to shoot the president in the ear. Like, out of all these things, where a lady with a willy wants to have a wee is not really that much of a big deal, I don't think. But I don't know, that's just me. Maybe I'm woke. I just think if you think there's only two genders, that you haven't watched enough porn. Now, I'm lucky enough to have had some pretty explorative experiences in my life. I used to live in an illegal backpackers hostel in Barcelona that was called the Crack House. But that was spelt like C-A-R-A-I-C, like in the Irish sense of the word, which is like, what's the crack? Which means, what's up? What's going on? The crack, poetically, in this hostel was actually crack. It was a hell of a place. I'll try and paint you the picture of what the average morning at the Crack House might look like. So there would be like a giant Serbian man eating cornflakes and smoking a cigarette at the same time, next to a couple of scousers who've just been doing coke all night, and they're in the middle of one of those cocaine conversations where they're just talking at each other. One of them's just like, here's the thing, mate, China, they're going to take over, they're going to fucking take over, and you know what, like, they fucking deserve to, they fucking deserve it, like, because you know what, they fucking graft, kidder, they work harder than anyone else, and the other one's just sitting there being like, they just see me finger banging that girl. That's going on over here. You had a couple of terrified Koreans just watching this being like, I've invented some kind of parallel hell-ish universe. And then you had a bloke called Michael Jordan, and he was doing what he would do in the common room at any time of day, but he'd like to start the day at breakfast time by watching his favourite type of pornography, which was hermaphrodite porn. There are people, if you haven't seen it, okay, there are people in the world that have both the things of both all the bits, this and then that, and then the whole thing. And he could watch it. And it was eye-opening. It was beautiful and disgusting at the same time. Not disgusting that that exists, but disgusting that he would think that that was good breakfast viewing. To each their own. But he would sit there and be like, see, the thing about the Hermes is the Hermes are the most highest paid prostitutes in all of Amsterdam. I can't get the Dutch accent. It's one of my favourite accents that I'm allowed to do in this forum. There are other ones that I just probably wouldn't. I love them, I just probably wouldn't do them because we're not there yet as a society. But the Dutch accent I feel like I could do, if I could do it. I just haven't nailed it yet, and I'm sorry that you had to hear that. I will one day do it. Anyway. It would have been heaps better if you laughed at it. You would have been like, haha, that was terrible. Now get on with the story. What are you talking about? Gender issues. I get it too, right? Because I've met there are some pretty annoying non-binary people out there. I'll admit that. I was talking, not all of them, but like everyone's annoying, men, women. But I was talking to one the other day, and they were like, oh, it's straight white men. Straight white men are the problem. And I was like, yeah, technically then you're still half the problem. Like, you're not getting it out of it that easy. You know what I mean? They were like, well, are you with us or against us? I'm like, I'm with you, but also, do I have to pick a side? Can't I be somewhere in the middle? Anyway. I know some Christians that don't like the trans people either, which I think is weird. Because have you guys, do you know about clownfish? Do you know that the clownfish, right? Here's a fun fact about the clownfish. A clownfish can change its gender whenever it feels like. So if, in the film Finding Nemo, what would have happened is that if all of Nemo's family were eaten by that barracuda and it was just Nemo left, Nemo would have been able to change its gender and they would have been able to repopulate that anemone. That's what would have happened. How good would Finding Nemo have been if that was a true story? This little fish turn around being like, Nemo! And Nemo turns around and is like, don't deny me, Daddy. It's Naomi now. Let's repopulate this anatomy. And gentlemen, lads, boys, dudes, fellas, who hasn't for just a split second thought, what would it be like to be a woman when you hear this? Let's go, girls. You're like, oh, I saw what it's like. You know, the best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun. You're like, oh, fuck, I wish I was a woman right now. Like, just a little bit, right? Like, even Jordan Peterson would be like, well, the prerogative to have a little fun is, oh, let me be honest with you, that's my kind of prerogative. I hear a little lick of that Shania guitar, and I wish I had a big old pair of titties to dangle around myself, to be honest with you. I love the best. Anyway, so I think I solved that problem. It's good to have a therapist like ChatGPT. No, I don't use AI to write any of this. No artificial intelligence. This is all genuine intelligence. What other issues were they going to tackle tonight? The Voice. The Voice. Yeah, we kind of got a bit quiet on The Voice, haven't we? I remember that. So I went to the UK last year when The Voice was announced. I voted, but it was weird being there on that day that they announced that Australia had voted against having an Aboriginal voice to Parliament. And I was having to explain to someone. They were like, now, have we got something wrong here, mate? Or, because it kind of sounds like, from our perspective, that it might be, like, it sounds like they've said, no, that sounds a little bit racist. And I was like, oh, yeah, but, like, democratically. We voted on it. Do you know what I mean? Democratically, we decided. That's good. And, look, I don't think that everyone who voted no in the referendum is a racist, okay? I think there were some pretty solid points made by the No campaign. Do you know what I mean? They were like, well, first, you're going to give them a voice to Parliament. Next, they're going to take a bite out of your sandwich. Then they're going to want their own footy team. And then no one else is going to win the flag ever again. We can't have that. We can't have it. Yes, we can't let them have a voice. There were some pretty charismatic people too. Yeah, Gina Reinhart, Peter Dutton, Clive Palmer. Clive Palmer, he threw his weight in the ring there. He said that, who's going to pay the bill? Who's going to pay the bill if we vote in if we allow the voice? I think we could pay reparations to all Aboriginal people if we performed liposuction on Clive Palmer and used all his body fat and sold that as a moderately priced soap. And unlike, our iron ore in the Pilbara, that's a renewable resource. We could just go and top it back up again with Wagyu steak and Shiraz. Let's give them even more money. So I've seen a bit of tension there. You're like, I don't know about this one, Billy. I don't know. A little bit of fat shaming to drive home your point there. That doesn't seem... Like, I am allowed to say this. I'm fat on the inside. Like, literally, I have high cholesterol. Extraordinarily high cholesterol. I know you can't tell by looking at me. I'm as skinny as a junkie's dog, but... in these veins runs fat. You know what I mean? I'm fat on the inside. And I would happily get liposuction for a good cause, except that all the fat in my body is calcifying in my arteries. So I feel like I'm allowed to say that about Clive. But yeah, I think it's interesting what we've decided to be proud of as a country, as Australia. Like, does anyone ever look at our flag and just think, surely we've won the Ashes enough times that we could just remove the British flag? Because a quarter of our flag is the British flag. It's kind of like having a tramp stamp from the uncle that molested you. Do we really need to be proud of that cunt? Do you know what I mean? And I said this when I was in the UK chatting with my mate. I said, I don't know about this whole, a quarter of our flag is a British flag. I think it's a bit off. And he's like, well, mate, that's your history. That is your history. You've got to be grateful for that. And I was just like, yeah, you know what else is part of my history? Being breastfed. But if Mum bowled in here right now and whipped it out and was just like, come on, Billy, don't be ungrateful. I'll be like, Mum, I'm 35. Okay, enough with the breastfeeding thing. It's time we've grown out of that, I reckon. And I kind of think that's about us as well. Like, why are we so proud of being a convict colony? Isn't that weird? Do you know what I mean? Imagine coming and driving into Adelaide, home of Yatla, sick. It's a bit weird. I mean, I know we love a bad boy national icon, don't we? We love Ned Kelly, Chopper Read, Rolf Harris. Like we love a bad boy national icon. So I get the whole convicts thing, but is that the best thing about us? Oh, we had the Aboriginal people of Australia, 60,000 years of just straight up sending it in the bush. Like, longest unbroken streak of society in global history. That's pretty cool, I reckon. Do you know what I mean? I think it's interesting too, because there was a lot of skepticism, people in the comment section in the lead up to The Voice being like, they didn't even invent the wheel. And I think it's interesting, they were living in harmony with nature, living off the land. It's funny when black people live off the land, we go, oh, they can't even invent the wheel. But when white people do it, we make TV shows about it. Like, have you seen Alone? There's just a bunch of blokes out there being like, well, to be honest with you, I'm just trying to get away from my kids, do a bit of fishing. And, or Bear Grylls, like, when you're in a survival situation, drinking a cup of your own piss, it's like having a warm cup of tea. Like, we love it. But actually, this is a bit of a tangent. I was trying not to do tangents tonight, but this is just one. Do you remember that show? You ever watch that show Preppers? Just about a bunch of lunatics getting ready for the apocalypse. Do you remember watching that thing? Like, you used to watch that show being like, oh, look at these lunatics getting ready for the apocalypse. They're crazy. And now it's just basically like watching Better Homes and Gardens. You're just sitting there taking notes like, okay, 2 full concrete walls, armor-piercing tips. Underlining that one. Interesting thought. Where was I going with this? The Voice. yeah, I think it's just time. As a nation, we move forward and we become a republic. We get a heap sick flag. We just get rid of the British flag. The Southern Cross, that's a great bit. I love that bit of the flag. That's fantastic. A beautiful constellation. Makes a great tattoo. I love that gets a laugh. Because you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's funny. It is an amazing constellation, and it's beautiful to look at. But you just never see anyone being like, oh, what, this? Oh, I got this because I love the multicultural melting pot that is Australia. I'm going to get one because I love the sky and I love Australia. I'm going to get the saucepan. Nice southern constellation, but melting pot. Anyway, that's not even a joke. That's just a little plan. Just a little life thing. Yeah, because it's a great country. It's an amazing country. One of the best countries in the world. Definitely top, up there for sure. Hear how much better my voice is now. I just lube it up a bit there. I'd offer you some more toast, but so this is a great country. You know what I mean? We've got beautiful beaches. What wedge-tailed eagles. I saw a hot homeless chick the other day. No, you know, I've never seen that before. Like, it was like a genuinely attractive homeless woman. I was walking in Melbourne. I was in Melbourne, culture up the wazoo. It's just like wafts of like single origin beans and politically charged graffiti. And she was sitting there, and my first thought was just like, that's a weird spot for a picnic. But it turns out she was somewhat living there, and it just blew my mind. You know what I mean? How bad has the economy gotten that even the good-looking people are doing it tough? Because ugly folks have been struggling for some time. It's the looks-orientated society. I saw a very, very good piece of, that was not the best choice of word, was it? I feel a good piece of street art in Melbourne, very eye-opening piece of street art in Melbourne. It said, "Women don't owe you pretty." I was like, that's a good point. It's just unfortunate for this homeless woman that she owed money instead of pretty, because she could have paid that there. But unfortunately, times are tough. Even the pretty people are just falling through the gaps in the cracks into the, like rose petals for a drain, in the drain. Yeah. Do you think there'd be less homeless people if the big issue was worth reading? Because I don't know because I try and be a good person. You know what I mean? I try and recycle and other things like that. The big issue, it's not a great read. It's like a Temu Reader's Digest. It's not as shit as the advertiser, but it is not great. I love that the idea is great, the concept of people selling magazines on the street, but maybe like Mad Magazine or Cosmo, that'd be a good one. Imagine getting them out in the street selling Cosmo, being like, this month's hottest Bridgerton inspired looks, 6 tips to driving wild, and 25 vibrators we love. Buy a Cosmo, get me off the streets. That'd be good. I'd like to see that. Meth is popular these days, isn't it? People absolutely going mad for meth. We could walk out there, we could take a right, I guarantee you see exactly what I'm talking about. I was driving home from a gig or something the other night. It was quite late. About 3 in the morning, because that's how late I was up, because I'm a badass. Right? And there was a bloke sweeping the street. Like, in the middle of the street, middle of the night, just sweeping it. And unless community service is now some kind of like app-based gig economy thing, I'm pretty sure he was just doing it cause. Just out there, getting it done in the middle of the night, and I was like, that's a motivated person. Like, I've never felt that level of motivation for anything. And he's out there sweeping the street. Like, that is, something you like about meth, but that is incredible, that level of motivation. Like, I think we're wasting a valuable labour source there. You know what I mean? We should be getting methamphetamine addicts off the streets, housing them, and putting them to work. Giving them jobs in the manufacturing sector. Because the manufacturing sector in Australia was gutted because we were uncompetitive. You know, wages were too high. But if we paid people in meth, which if you buy in large enough quantities is pretty affordable, and they will work for it for longer than anyone will work for money. We'll house them, and we don't need many beds, they don't sleep much. We'll feed them, they don't need much food either. Just a couple of glasses of strawberry milk, they're good to go. We'll save some money for addiction programs that are fit for purpose, and we'll get them to work for the meth, staying up all night getting shit done. We could rebuild the Great Holden factory off the back of meth labour. Because it's fair to say that a lot of people on meth love Holdens. I think it's an overgeneralisation, but I think it holds up because I got a mate, he's on meth, he loves Holden so much, he actually lives in a Commodore. We'll get him in, we'll get him to work, we'll put him in there, we're going to change it, we're going to make Australia great again on meth labour. Yeah. All right. Well, that's that's pretty close to the end there. I will be taking complaints about the show. If you just go to patreon.com/Bill Egan, just you can become a subscriber and leave all your complaints there. I'm a big fan. I like constructive criticism because it's good. It's a better way to do it. I think that's the way you should do it. There's a lot of letterboxes in my area which have no junk mail written on them, and I just think that's not very constructive. So what I've done is I've taken my letterbox and I've left a note under it. It says no junk mail. If you want to advertise to me, you got to get online, pay Mark Zuckerberg to get a robot to insidiously spy on me using an electronic device in my pocket that I'm addicted to, calculate what kind of products I'm going to want to buy, and slot them in sometime when I'm mindlessly scrolling between AI cat videos and photos of a girl in high school that I fingered once behind a shed, who has kids now. Now, I said that joke to Katie, I ran that by her. I said, Katie, what do you think this is my fiancé to be? I said, what do you think of that one? She says, I don't know about that. The way you say girl, it's you should say woman. And I was like, well, she wasn't a woman when I fingered her. And I wasn't a man. We were very much children. I was a boy. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just down there being like, what the hell is all of this stuff? I better go to the library. That's it. Thanks for coming. I have no idea how much time that was. Is that about an hour? 40 minutes? Oh, that's good these days. Attention spans are short. Does anyone have any questions?
Where'd you get the robe?
The robe, I think I've won this. It was like a pass the parcel type thing. Yeah, I got the robe. Thank you. Any other questions? No, good. All right. Well, come back next month. We're starting a new thing with we're going to have, it's like Hey Hey, it's Saturday, or Letterman. Imagine Hey Hey and Saturday, it's Saturday, and Letterman had a baby in Adelaide that took heaps of acid. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a jazz band and puppets, and we're going to do that every month. So I think the working title's like Hey Hey, it's tonight. We'll think of something else.
That'll be toast.
Sorry?
I have more toast.
Woo! There'll be more toast.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just get rid of that. Surely it's not the only sort of workplace working. Anyway, I'm going to go back there for a minute and then I'll be back out. Sincerely, thanks everyone for coming. Hope I remember everything. I love you all. See you in a minute.
Oh, nearly out of the woods. How many do you want?
How many do you want to give me?
How many do you reckon you'll give out?
I may just put one on every seat, honestly. But if you think that's too much, then I might just have them at the door where people get tickets. Yeah, and then I'll get the what you call it? Tickets printed off probably tomorrow.
Cool, man. Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. Saturday if you want to come.
Yeah. Oh, Saturday I can't. I'm going to Swell Brewing.
Right.
Jackson's doing a show there, man.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I didn't invite that.
Go help them out with that, man. I
Yeah.
think they need my square thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just. I just want to upset all the people I don't like that because I'm, part of the raffle. I'm higher on the card than they are.
Yeah, fuck them, mate. Fuck the haters, mate.
Yeah.
Without protection.
I mean, yes, the reason most of them hate me is either because I've. Sorry, I didn't realize. Is either because I've fucked their girlfriends or because I fucked their ex-girlfriends.
That's generous.
To fuck their girlfriends that became their ex-girlfriends after I fucked them.
Well, mate, if they were that good, their girlfriends wouldn't have let you do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, when I did it, one of them I didn't really know when they've been broken up for years. One of them, I wasn't friends with him, and one of them was in the fucking room.
I wouldn't feel too bad.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad all the women in comedy are celibate.
That's what they
would
tell you anyway.
I would shit where I eat. I know I would. I know I would hit on fucking female comedians if they weren't celibate. And I know that would not end well for me. So I'm very glad.
I don't because I don't handle rejection well.
I just don't care. Like, when I went round my neighbours and fucked them the other week, it was... Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, alright. That was it. That was it. How the fuck does that even happen?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was open for more toast related stuff. Yeah, no, that was still pretty damn good, man. That was fucking solid. I was laughing. I can't make it help best thing ever. You gotta watch these though. It's next Saturday, right? So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. That's all gonna be good. We've got a good mix, perfect mix of Cam's first band.
Oh, Cam did? Yeah, exactly. You remember that?
Nas' first Yeah, man, yeah, printing them up, man. Yeah, this is just a small version. I've got like a big version of it, man. Gonna be posted for me in the city on the weekend. Yeah.
I just feel like you do me a favor. Handle a bunch of these pamphlets.
Yeah. I hope we can be back in there. Tonight? Oh, right, I got legs tomorrow, man. No way. I wish I could pick one, man. In my perfect world, I would be doing that. I don't know if it's going to see you next time. I get different. Comedy next weekend.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, yeah, no, and it's like,
And we're happy to say intros and theme music.
I'm trying to make it's one of those things that when we do one, it'll be like, oh, that's
Sure, yeah.
like,
I think if the first one is really good, because like the people that I'm asking to play with me are really, they can put the gig there to like 100 people, and they all go to their stuff. If they all come and enjoy the first one, that's the best chance of it. So if you make the first one really I feel like we should plan. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, I'll message you about it. Alright, sounds so good.
Eloise, except to say sorry, I couldn't come. She worked for 14 hours. Working on the new record.